Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. I'm Dan. I'm back here, big Cass. Cass, thank you for filling in for me with Blake last week. It was my bachelor party. Nashville was absolutely incredible. Watch the Ohio State game. Don't remember much. I'm going to leave with that this episode. And I will say, it is really cold in Ohio right now. It's freezing. Just little side tangent. I don't know why it feels so cold this year. This early. It's insane how cold it feels. I'm glad Steel Chambers said today the boys have been practicing in the snow for toughness. I have not. I've been trying to stay, as much as in my bed as possible or with a blanket on. But Ohio State got it done against Indiana, Cass. That's I think what really matters. Um, we all knew that was going to happen, I think, but there was a lot of positive takeaways from the game.
A lot of positive takeaways from the game. I didn't expect the running game to be as good as it was. It was. Unfortunately, we lost Mayan for how long? We don't know. They said he's good. Hopefully, good for next week. That's all that matters.
Which
Um,
I find it hard to believe that he might play this week based on just how they've been so careful with the backs. Um, they've just been doing like initiating load management like NBA players with their running back. So mine got carted off. Like I thought his season was over but it's looking good for the most part. It's not worst case scenario.
it's looking good for both him and Henderson. But if I was a betting man, it's Xavier Johnson, Chip Trainum, and Dallin Hayden all the way this weekend.
I agree. I mean, and we'll get more into that. I will say Hayden. I really like Hayden. I feel like he hasn't developed yet. If that makes sense, he's so raw. Once I think he gets a full off season, with strength and conditioning, that kid, he's good. He might honestly be RB1 by his junior year.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, well, maybe this is the last game though he could play before if they want to redshirt him or not. And I don't think he's going. I don't think they'll go be able to redshirt him. Just
I
because
I wouldn't redshirt him.
he's played a lot of football. He's played very well in every game that he's played in. But I want to see Chip train him run the football. Excuse me, folks. It's been a long week. but uh, but yeah, I think the running back position has been up and down all year, and maybe that's the cause for the way our running game has been off and on. And call it topsy turvy. But as long as they're getting hot at the right moment, I don't care, how good they risky are. I just want to see us get healthy for that team up north next week. And the best way to do that is keep your two studs on the sidelines this week and, roll with the three guys you have, with Xavier Johnson, who, he's kind of the
Showed
X
a
factor.
lot.
Yeah, he's kind of the X factor. He's kind of like that Curtis Samuel type that we had with Zeke. Um, so
What I like about Xavier Johnson is I feel like he has a very good vision and he lets his blocks develop, if that makes sense. He like I feel like a lot of the guys, there's some players in college football that they're freak athletes, but they don't understand the game well. I feel like Xavier Johnson's a guy who just really understands the game and his assignments well and how, to read everything. It's just, for him, he might not be the most physically gifted athlete. He's still a great athlete. Don't get me wrong. Made some incredible plays this year, but I like having him out there for sure. He is like a jackknife guy, almost like a Debo Samuel, Curtis Samuel type guy, like you said. And I mean, he definitely has a role in this offense. Even if it's one or two touches a game, he can do a lot of things. Even kick returning, he was a decent kick returner against Indiana. He was honestly an all-purpose monster. I believe he probably had close to, when you add it all up, probably close to 200 all-purpose yards between kick return yards, rushing yards, receiving yards. That's kind of like hidden yardage, and that's great to have on this offense. If you can get a guy like that just coming in off the sideline or getting some decent hidden yards plays, that's exactly what this team needs.
absolutely. And I mean, this football team is, they're hearing a lot of critics. I have Michigan fans at work already confident that they're going to beat the Buckeyes, but this team just hasn't played their best football yet. And I mean, when we see it, I hope we see it soon. But the way they played it against Indiana, I mean, shows life. Like that's why Joel Klatt ranked them back number 2 in the country. The, they're a great football team. It's just the critics, and I love it. I love that the fact that the critics are bad on us, and all these fans are saying we're not physical, blah blah blah. Heck, like you said, they've been practicing in the snow the past couple of days. Practicing outside like the way they need to be. They're getting ready for next week. And
what? Sorry, I cut you off. Keep
go
going,
ahead,
bud.
go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say I think we're very, going into the season, early on the season, a lot of the critics, like even Joel Klatt, I think he said, and like Colin Cowherd, they said, oh, Ohio State can't be reliant on the weather to win games, and that it's been kind of an issue, especially against Northwestern, hurricane-like winds, and then against Indiana it was cold, but like they're practicing outside now, and they've actually have game experience outside. And I think this team is ready. I think they are ready for the gauntlet of, cold, hard-nosed football. I mean, they're built for it. Our defense is built for it. We can pound the rock with Mayan. It's just keeping him healthy. So I do think we have worked on, or at least, attack that kind of flaw. And it's maybe not as much of a flaw as people think now.
Absolutely. But we can't ignore the fact before we move on to there ain't much I have left to say about the Indiana game, but we cannot reminisce the fact of the greatest moment in college football this year so far.
And it's not the Marvin Harrison hip ankle catch. That was ridiculous, by the way. Gotta address that. I don't know how he didn't tear his hip there.
But it's this right here, the greatest moment this year in college football.
Any second. Any second. It was a Joe Royer 1-yard catch, wasn't it? And nothing. Cass, it's not working.
What?
It's not working. There we go. Okay, there we go.
All right, hold on.
There we go.
I got the wrong video though.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Cut this.
It's all right. It's a mistake. We all make mistakes.
It's a misinput.
Oh, you gotta love technology. Hold on. I'm gonna retry this as I'm looking it up.
We all know what it is now.
I just can't believe nobody heard it. This is crazy. Hold on. I don't care. Make fun of us, YouTube.
We're going to absolutely lose all our stars because of this. It's on you, Cass.
It's my bad. No, it's not. I mean, here we go. We're going to play. Let's see here.
In the meantime, while Cass is getting the video prepped, I want to talk about our contingency plan to the audience because it doesn't look too good for Twitter right now. We got about, close to 5,000 followers on Twitter. If, Twitter gets deleted because, the whole Elon Musk thing, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and obviously go to the silverbulletin.com and see all our content there. And also, go to silverbulletin.com and just check out all our boys' content, especially Blake's. That's our guy. Love Blake. Hope Blake's doing well. I'm sure he's going to be watching this, probably laughing that we're struggling with the audio. I think Cass has it, though. I think he has it. Fingers crossed. Okay.
There we go.
For this
Again,
staff and these players is just so high. Stroud sprints out, throws on the move, and another touchdown. This time it's Kamryn Babb.
Wow. It doesn't matter who was on the field. He was going to throw it to Kamryn Babb.
That's right. And that play call was for Kamryn Babb. C.J. Stroud,
Ryan Day, Marvin Harrison Jr. Open arms, a warm, warm embrace from his teammates.
Man, this sport, man.
This school, something different about these Bucks, man.
I'm just going to end it right there. The way Gus Johnson said, there's nothing like these Bucks, man. I mean, the greatest moment this year of college football goes out to Kamryn Babb, a 7-yard out touchdown. You saw the joy on Ryan Day's face, the joy of his teammates, what Kamryn Babb has gone through his whole career solidifies. That is the brotherhood. That is your 2023 national champion, 22-23 national champions right there, just because of the brotherhood of a guy who's got 2 snaps, 1 catch, 1 touchdown for his career at Ohio State, and he's a 2-year captain.
Is that the Stroud? Is that potentially the Stroud Heisman moment?
No.
Could it at least be on the highlight reel for Stroud?
Oh, it's definitely for highlight reel.
I feel like that's definitely a moment though that Stroud throwing that too late in a game to making odd. Don't get me wrong, great route by Cam Babb, but also Stroud made him look good too. Great pass. I think it's just all around good football, and obviously Heartline, great job coaching.
Well, I look at it this way: Michigan fans were looking at box scores and didn't understand who Kamryn Babb is. That's just the mentality of Michigan fans saying, just Stroud is stat padding. No, it wouldn't have meant as much as it did if Kyle McCord threw that touchdown pass to Kamryn Babb.
That would just create some controversy for the QB battle next year in the spring game. That's all I would have.
I've been hearing DJU, Drake May, Kyle McCord, Devin Brown. Who knows? Let's just get
Daquan Finn.
Let's just get through 2022. But
give us Daquan Finn.
But I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I was up in the booth this past week with Gus Johnson, Joe Klatt, and all them guys, and I had tears down my face, man. I mean, we've been doing the show for 4 years, and we always talked about when Kamryn Babb was going to be able to get healthy and be able to play. Just unfortunately, he hit the injury bug, and to see that moment in the shoe, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so we were at my bachelor party, and we were watching the game, and a couple of my buddies, they're not Buckeye fans. They're just football guys, but they'll watch anything. But they don't know. They didn't realize Marvin Harrison Jr. They didn't realize the difference between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Xavier Johnson. So they just kept calling Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Johnson. The entire, or like Xavier Johnson catch pass, like Marvin Johnson. And I'm like, it's Xavier Johnson. Cam Babb caught the pass for like Marvin Johnson. And I'm like, no, it's not none of them. It's Cam Babb.
Oh,
it was a great moment though. Great moment. Love to see it.
Absolutely. All right, before we get into Maryland, let's talk a little briefly about the basketball Buckeyes. 3-0, they're getting ready to head to Maui.
So this is the chance for a banner. I can say this. San Diego State Monday night, 9:00. Might be a little later, depending on, if the one game runs over. I'm excited. Cautiously optimistic. San Diego State's number 21 overall, I believe. Ohio State, 3-0, but those 3 teams couldn't beat the Columbus Condors. So, no offense to the Columbus Condors,
they no longer exist.
Yeah, they would not beat them. Neither of those 3 teams would beat that. I can't get excited because I know that's a fraudulent 3-0. I'm happy that Sense Ball basically looks like the new Malachi Branham.
Right now, they have 19th overall going to the Raptors in some polls.
Yeah, I think. I mean, let's see. Let's see how he does in January, February.
See how he
gonna
does as a Big
probably.
Ten.
Yeah, I don't care how you do against South Carolina State.
Morehead State.
Yeah, these
Robert
random
Morris.
these random the mill teams. It's nice to see Zed Key look a little pretty consistent on the offensive end. He's been shooting 50% from three. He's not been shooting a ton of threes, but he's shooting 50% from three, 76% on the field. It's nice to see Zed Key improve. Sewing looks healthier. That's great. Gale, Holden, McNeil. That's a decent backcourt. I would like to see a little more output from them. Likely and Thornton, Okpara, they need to keep developing. I'm disappointed in Kalen Etzler so far. I thought he was going to be at least 10 a game, and he's not really doing he's not doing anything he's barely getting a minute or two a game. So honestly, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm going to say, if we win the Maui though, I'll wear lay for like a week or something. I think that was the bet I had back in after the season ended. If we win the Maui Invitational, that I will have a lay on for a week. I'll go out, buy a lay, wear it, even to work. I'll wear it under my thing. So that's the bet I'm making to everyone in Ohio State basketball. You want to go out win the Maui? I'm buying a lay and wearing it for a week.
I don't think they'll win the Maui, but
no.
But Michigan State looks really good. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I just feel like Joey Hauser on Michigan State, he's gonna win win Big Ten Player of the Year the way this is going.
Yep.
And it's like he's been kind of mediocre. He's been pretty mediocre for the past couple of years.
And Juwan Howard is going to tackle him on the sidelines after he shoots a three.
Juwan Howard is the final boss of the Michigan Tunnel. So when you get past, the 5 Michigan special teamers running down at your throat, and then you get past, the fans throwing stuff at you, get in the tunnel, you're the final boss. He lays there like a dragon. Juwan Howard. He coming for you.
He's like Bowser when you're getting to Bowser's castle in Mario.
It's a perfect example.
All right. We go to Maryland. Maryland's struggling big time. Tell you, they've scored a massive 7 points in the last 2 games. Got blown out by Penn State. Talia Tungavaloa has kind of looked off. He thrown $150 in the past 2 games. They just look bad. But it is Maryland. Mike Loxley's a good coach. They're very well coached. They took Michigan to 4 quarters before they just ran out of steam. Take what you want. Yeah. This is a good football team.
They're gonna go bowling 6-4. They'll probably be
in the Pinstripe Bowl.
I would say 7-5 Pinstripe Bowl potential. I mean, they're decent. They're definitely can be frisky. But every big game they played, Cass, other than kind of laying with Michigan, they could have taken that game. They didn't. Michigan clearly was better. Maryland made some dumb mistakes, especially right off the kickoff. What I've gotten through Maryland is I really do feel like it's all big baby Tua. Rakeem Jarrett is probably their other best offensive weapon. And then Dante Demas has been a disappointment this year. Disappointment. He's not even over 200 yards on the year, which he's going to go for a big day against us somehow. I got a feeling like he's going to have a good day. Or one of their receivers. Their running backs don't really worry me for the most part. Their running game's not great. It's really just how if they can basically make this like 2018, it's gonna be a fun one. This could be the Stroud Heisman game, honestly. If this is a shootout and Stroud wins this, I think this could really set Stroud up for the Heisman. This game, believe it or not the Michigan game. He just has to win that one. But I think this one, he could have a moment where he drives us down the field and makes a big throw. It's sad that, Ohio State literally has 3 at minimum. They have three big games left, maybe 5 if we play for the national championship. But we have 3 games left, and this is a big game. I'm counting this as a big game. Last week, last 2 weeks, Northwestern Indiana, I've been kind of like, who cares? Like, no offense, guys, we're gonna absolutely stomp you. But I feel like this is a warm up, a pretty big game.
I think this is going to be a good game for the Buckeyes. I really don't think Maryland's going to bring much. I think Ohio State's their plan is to shut out the outside noise like they want and play that competitive stamina and play that competitive excellence like Ryan Day keeps preaching. Jim Knowles keeps finding flaws in every week, even though they look really good. Tommy Eichenberg, I mean, dude's an All-American, should be an All-American. I feel like this is the game. This is the game where it solidifies that he's going to win, be an All-American, and he's going to become the Buckeyes between this week and next week. I think we shut Maryland down, and I don't think they score much. I think our offense is just too good, too powerful. I think our defense is good. I think our running game is going to continue to prove something as we get prepared for Michigan State. And the thing is we're not going to show a lot either. I think we're just going to go out there, play Buckeye football, and just handle our business.
I will say this is probably the best passing offense Ohio State will see this regular season, outside of what, Michigan. I'm just trying to I'm trying to actually comprehend this, but I mean, who else? Arkansas,
Tennessee,
Toledo, maybe. I don't
like in the regular season.
In the regular season. I mean, you're going down this list.
Penn State, I think.
This I feel like is shaping up for a big game for Lathan Ransom. I feel like he could make a big player to this game
because I think plays.
I know, and he's basically Mr. D back wherever you need him. We got him. I feel like because Maryland, they can really spread it out. They have tons of weapons, at least with receivers. They have 3 or 4 good receivers. I see him. I think him and any other safeties that come into play.
I think this is a DB Denzel Burke, Kamryn Babb statement game.
Yeah, if Denzel Burke and Cam Brown have a good day, this might be able, we might be changing everyone might be changing the view on them, how they did this season. Because I think this is the game outside of, a Big Ten championship game and a playoff and a bowl game, in the Michigan game, obviously, that, they need to show out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said 49-10 was going to be the final. I just think Ohio State's going to boat race. So I think CJ Stroud's just going to continue to put up numbers. I think he's going to be close to 40 touchdowns by the end of this game. He's at 34 right now.
I know. Spread's about 37. No, not 30. 27 and a half. It's tough. I think it's going to be closer. I think Maryland will be able to. I think
got shut out by Penn State.
But they're due, and Penn State's, for the most part, Penn State's defense played good against our offense until we finally just kind of broke through, and it was more that our defense just had an insane day that really saved us. So I'm not going to read too much into that. It's really all about matchups. I think Maryland, just because they have so many weapons, and our weakness is kind of the defensive back part. If they could really either get the ball out quick,
their offensive line is very weak. That's the thing. Our D line.
They would have to get the ball out quick. Then they might also want to run bubble screens. Like, that's kind of, they need to run the bubble screens, I feel like.
I got 41-10. I just say come out healthy, and obviously win the turnover battle, and just keep making a statement. Keep showing the country why you're the number 2 team in the country.
I'm gonna say 55-24. It's gonna be a fun one. Maryland will keep it close, I think, first half, but Ohio State will just wear them down, and they're just gonna keep putting the ball in the end zone.
By the way, if you look at the rest of this college football slate, it sucks. It really does. I think
it's not terrible. I didn't hate it.
I mean, it's not very good.
What's sad is we only have 2 more like full Saturdays left. I'm gonna enjoy it. I mean,
By the way,
USC UCLA at 8 is good.
The 8th ranked Lady Buckeyes beat Ohio U at Ohio U by 30.
I mean, when we get into our picks, I have a couple games I definitely don't want to sleep on.
Tulane's up 49-14 on SMU.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, there's a couple games this week that can develop into upsets. Looking at this right now,
Alabama's got a tough one against Austin Peay.
I mean, TCU Baylor at noon. I think that could be something that could be an upset. Illinois Michigan, that is not a gimme for Michigan. The way Illinois has played this year, going through it. Who else? Georgia, Kentucky. I mean, Georgia should win that, but Kentucky, could this be their iconic game of the season? That
hear me out. Tennessee at South Carolina.
That's also one that could be really good too. I think out of those 4 games, one of them will be an upset.
Utah at Oregon. I didn't realize that was this weekend.
Yeah, USC at UCLA, 8:00. Don't get me wrong, it's not insane, but it's good. It's you know what? It's football, and I'm watching every second.
Yeah. It's not a great week, but
it's good. It's a B. It's a B, I would say. Before I guess we start doing the picks, I would just like to say Justin Fields, amazing, incredible. Never a doubt. We knew it here. We're supporters of him. I got the receipts if anyone ever wants to come at me. I drafted him keeper league, 11th round. People called me crazy. They said, Dan, you're a madman. Ohio State quarterback can never get it done. I'm like, you don't understand. This guy's a leader. This guy's a baller, which it's crazy because he's playing like he's has more rushing yards than Michael Vick has in some of his seasons. Like it that blows my mind. And like if you're telling me that Justin Fields is a better runner than Michael Vick, I would have said absolutely not. But I'm beginning to wonder, like, why didn't we just use him like a rusher more? I know to keep him healthy, but I am questioning the coaching staff a little bit between him and Baron Browning. Baron Browning off the edge, using him middle linebacker and not using Fields' legs as much.
I wouldn't question that at all because he had an offensive line at Ohio State.
That's true.
The Bears are awful. The Bears don't deserve Justin Fields.
I will say he's running for his life, but he's so much better than everyone else that he's like, oh, I can just go get 1,000 yards at will this season. And I mean, that's incredible. It really is incredible. I'm happy he's developing. I'm happy, that he's healthy right now. It's nice to see.
It is very nice to see.
And that's my guy. That's my quarterback.
By the way, I'll be at the Bengals-Pittsburgh Steelers game this Sunday in Pittsburgh, 30-degree weather.
Be careful. Be safe.
Look for a fat guy wearing a Sam Hubbard jersey.
Have you ever been to Pittsburgh?
No, my brother's a Steelers fan, so I should be okay.
Oh, you're going with it. Okay, you're fine.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be good. Yeah, I'm happy. We went to Nashville with the intention of going to the Broncos-Titans game. And I called it. They're like, oh, tickets are $150. Should we buy them? Like, tickets are gonna drop. Trust me. Day of the game, 3 hours before the game, tickets are $40. But I was like, it's cold. It's like 30 degrees outside. And it's the Denver Broncos. And you know what? I'm glad I didn't spend $40 to watch them put up 14.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's just think it could always be worse. You could be a Broncos fan.
You could be a Detroit fan and watch Buffalo in Cleveland.
That's going to be wild. What was wild actually on Tuesday night, or no, was it yesterday? Was the Western Central Michigan versus Western Michigan. just how much snow was coming down in that
That was
game.
hysterical.
I loved it. I was like, this is an instant classic. And it was a good game.
That was last night.
Yeah. Which the snow and coldness, though, for this early in November has been out of control. I'm sick of it. I know.
I'd rather have it now than it later on, though.
I'm just like, I need steel chambers to like whip me into shape because I just can't deal with this cold. It's bad.
Yeah, I hate it too. I really do. Definitely do. So.
Oh, all right. Ready to do our pick'ems?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Let's start around noon. Already kind of touched on it, but let's start at noon. Illinois at Michigan. Who you got?
What's the line? 18. Give me Michigan. But that 18 is going to come late. I think Illinois keeps it a game for 3.5 quarters, keeps it in between 2 scores, and then finally Michigan pulls away in the 4th quarter.
It's absolutely crazy that Purdue looks like they're going to win the West. But
I think it might be Iowa.
I mean, Purdue has Northwestern Indiana.
Oh,
Yeah,
they should. Purdue.
It has. I mean, if Purdue doesn't win this and go to the West, that's on them. I'm gonna say, give me Illinois. Give me Illinois plus, plus 18. You'll see the difference between the two programs this week. Ohio State, they'll be focused. Michigan, they won't be. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
I agree. All right. TCU Baylor. This is a pick'em because TCU is a 2.5 point favorite.
I like Baylor.
I like TCU, man. I'm going to keep going with the Horned Frogs.
I like Baylor. I think. I mean, it's at Baylor, and it's Baylor. They're a prideful program. They haven't been great this year, but their offense is about top 50. Not the TCU offense, but at home, I think with a good defensive performance, they could definitely win that. So I'm definitely going to take Baylor.
Jesus. Tennessee, South Carolina. I already told you I'm taking South Carolina with the spread. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm taking South Carolina plus 22.
Well, what's funny, like it's interesting because this is also kind of like this is a tougher game, I think, than Ohio State versus Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
This is at South Carolina. South Carolina is kind of a similar team to Maryland.
Mizzou for 3 quarters gave Tennessee a game.
I do think I like that pick cast. That 21.5 line is a little odd too. It's a weird line for some reason. I think Tennessee could be, kind of looking ahead and just not looking ahead, but they'll be looking at the scoreboard, seeing what's evolving around them. And I don't think they're going to be taking care of business.
Interesting one. I like this game always. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, 7.5. Oklahoma's a 7.5 point favorite.
Won the last few. Yeah. It's one of the last few years of Bedlam too.
Yeah, this is the last one. Next year's the last one. I'm sorry. I like Oklahoma for some reason.
No, I like Oklahoma State. I'm definitely going to take Oklahoma State with the points there. That one, that seems too easy. I'm not even going to lie, because Oklahoma State is much better this year. That's definitely a trap, and you're absolutely right, Cass. I think like that your bet's going to hit, but I'd be stupid not to take Oklahoma State here because they're plus 7.5. I don't know. That one's weird. I'm taking them.
Another pick 'em, USC, UCLA. I'm taking USC because I think they're going to make the college football playoff. I like them winning out the rest of the year.
They're interesting, USC. They really are. I mean, they ran that one trick play this last weekend, that field goal fake or whatever it was, and the guy did a backflip, and that was the most disgusting play I've ever seen. I was like, wow. I'll take USC as well. 2.5. That's USC. Just because I agree.
Utah, Oregon.
This is a fun one. This has always been a fun one.
This is at Oregon. I think Oregon bounces back.
I believe this could determine who plays in the Pac-12 championship.
It does.
Yeah. This is basically who's going to go play USC. That's going to give me Utah. I'm definitely going to take Utah on that one.
Yeah, I like Oregon for some reason to bounce back.
I just like Utah because I feel like this is a game where everyone likes Oregon, and for some reason this is last year I saw Utah just manhandle Oregon twice. And they weren't even on the same ball they weren't even on the same field. It felt like both games. I think the one game, what was it? Utah won by, let's say, 24, and the next game Utah won by 21. So Oregon improved by 3 points, and I remember Reddit college football on Twitter was always keep improving. It was just they got better by 3 points over the course of 8 weeks. So Utah for sure.
All right. Time for my tiebreaker game. Wow. Texas A&M is a 33.5-point favorite over UMass. Wow, I didn't realize Virginia Tech is 2-8. All right.
Mine is, I'm going to take North Carolina minus 21 over Georgia Tech. That's at home for North Carolina. Drake May, probably in the Heisman conversation, not going to win it, but he's worthy of 5th or 6th place, I would say. Definitely a top 10 player this year. I think Georgia Tech is just terrible. That if North Carolina is going to go and play in the ACC championship, that's a game they have to win by at least 21.
And I'm taking Sparty over Indiana plus 10.
I like that. That's actually a very good one. I also agree with that one because Sparty is not good, but Indiana is very, very bad. So that's Indiana bad, Sparty not great. So you go with Sparty.
Yeah, I just sent you over the text with all of our picks.
The fabled text. I love it. Oh. Man, I'm just getting sad. It's college football got here so fast, and it's gone even faster. I mean, it literally felt like we were previewing Notre Dame a month ago, and we have only a couple Ohio State games left. Still, obviously college football is going to go till January, but it's interesting. It's they need to create NIL where we add a couple more games. This is we're getting to the point where let's throw 2 more games in, I think.
All right, next week's our annual Thanksgiving episode. and previewing that team up north. Maybe an extra longer episode.
Yeah, big episode. It's gonna be scouting that team up north this week for sure.
Probably try to get our boy Blake on again.
We'll take anyone. Let's get Dontre Wilson on. Let's get
Dontre Willis.
Dontre Wilson. I'm so happy you met Todd Blackledge a couple weeks ago too. We didn't even touch upon that. Nope. You met the man who created the Dontrell Willis joke.
And I got Gus Johnson's notes.
You're just meeting and shaking hands, making deals. I love it.
Yeah, we got a big episode. That team up north, the history of the rivalry. I want them so bad. But let's get through Maryland. Let's go eat some turtle soup before our pregame meal, before the Thanksgiving meal feast that we have of Wolverine.
Let's do it.
That's
all I really got.
Beat the Terps.
Beat the Terps and go Bucks.
Wait, is Todd Blackledge doing the game this week? That's a good question.
It feels like a Todd Blackledge game. I have nothing to prove that, but it's 3:30. I believe it's on ABC, right? Hold on. Yeah, 3:30 ABC. Check in. It doesn't say, but that's 100% Todd Blackledge.
I'm looking it up real quick.
Has to be. Ohio State is a 90% chance to win this. Tickets are as low as $54. So, if you're having trouble getting into the Taylor Swift concert, go to Ohio State, Maryland,
or the George Strait Buckeye Country Music Fest.
That's not until I believe the summer.
Yeah, but tickets go on sale tomorrow on the 19th.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Tessitore.
No,
and everybody's favorite quarterback, Greg McElroy.
Oh no, that's even worse. No,
Teddy George is on the sidelines.
At least Orlovsky, he's like analytical. He's not like, and Greg McElroy just stinks.
He hates Ohio State.
Yeah, at least Orlovsky, he tries to be fair. He's just a fool. Like Greg McElroy is just a troll. He should not.
Oh, wait. Speaking of trolls, we should dedicate this time before we leave to the stupid Twitter people of the week. Danny Cannell. A lot of fans pointing out that Stroud and Corum don't have the stats because they haven't even got to finish games due to blowouts. By the way, Blake Corum has not left the game. They've kept him in all year, every game. If you have watched Michigan games, every blowout, he's played the whole game. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for proving my point. Without Stroud, OSU would be 10-0. Without Blake Corum, Michigan would be 10-0. Without Drake May, UNC would be 3-6. Sorry, Danny. I'm sorry. I love Kyle McCord. But we would lose to Notre Dame and Penn State with Kyle McCord at quarterback. I'm sorry.
You know who we wouldn't lose to with him as quarterback?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. But he's returning next year. Not confirmed, but it's looking good. Sources say my guy's returning, and he looks like he's really grasped the playbook, and we could be looking at a Hendon Hooker like season for an old man in college football. But you know what? Maybe I was 2 years too early. I think maybe I was. Maybe Hendon Hooker isn't. He's not going to win the Heisman. He's just setting the stage for Joe. So, very excited for 2023. But Stroud's winning the Heisman this year. But
oh yeah, and the
prophecy's coming true. I'm telling you.
And the Twitter post of the week goes to Robert Schultz. Trump announcing he's running for president 1 week before we have to see all of our uncles at Thanksgiving is arguably the most twisted thing he's ever done. Whether you like Trump or not, that is facts right there. That that tweet is facts.
No,
Facts.
I got one better, I think, because Elon bought Twitter, and like Twitter might be going away, but someone put Elon's face on the Surrender Cobra Michigan fan, and it says, "Whoa, he has trouble with the app," instead of Snap. Whoa, he has trouble with the app, and it's Elon. I'm dead. It's gold.
On that note, have a great night. Go Bucks.
Absolutely. Go Bucks. Thank you for listening to another episode, and beat the Terps.